Hi kiddos, it's Mrs. Carr. This week we're going to work on regular plural nouns. Now we all know a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. And the word plural means more than one. So a plural noun is more than one person, place, or thing. Now I'm going to tell you right now, the trick with regular plural nouns on spelling them and using the proper ending is to listen to the way they sound. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's get started. Most of your regular plural nouns are nouns that can be made plural by simply adding an S. All you do is add an S to it. You make the S sound, S, and you put the S as the letter at the end. Let me show you some examples. So if we're talking about one book, we just say book. Mom, I read the book. But if you're talking about more than one book, all you're going to do is say the word books, and you're going to spell it with an S, books. When you hear it, all you hear is the word book with an extra S on the end. Same thing for kid, more than one kid. I want to have kids at my party. So all we're adding is that S sound for kids. And then the next one, pencil. I have a box of pencils. All you hear is an extra S, pencils. That is the simplest regular plural nouns where we're just adding S's. The next rule is if you have a noun that ends in S, CH, SH, X, or Z, and the sounds they make, you need to add the ES. And when you have an E and an S together, what sound do they make? That's right, es. And when you say the words that end in these sounds, you're going to hear you say es when you're making it plural. So when you make that sound when you say it, that's the way you spell it as well. So here we have more than one lunch. And you see that CH and the ch sound? So more than one lunch, you would say lunch-es, lunchets. And if you say lunchets, then it needs to be spelled lunch-es, just like you would say it. Same thing with the word dish. If you have more than one dish, you say that sound sh. And if you want to talk about doing the dish-es, for somebody, which you should be doing them for mama because we love our mamas. Dish-es, you're going to spell it that way. So dish-es, dishes. Same thing for box. UPS brought me 12 boxes. So we're going to spell it just like we say it. Box-es, boxes. So if it sounds, we're doing regular plural nouns based on the way they are sounding. Next one is where we get a tiny bit tricky, but you guys can do it. If a noun ends in a consonant and then a Y, you need to change the Y to an I and add ES. Now, the reason we're going to change a Y to an I is because we know that Y is so tricky, it makes lots of different sounds. But we also don't want it to look funny. So we're getting rid of our Y, but we're replacing it with an I that can make the same sound as the Y, and it looks a lot better than writing the word with the Y. So let me show you what I mean. You're going to hear it too. You're still going to hear the I sound. So if you're talking about candy and you want to talk about more than one candy, you're going to say candy. When you say candy, you still have E. You still have the sound that the Y's and the I's and the E's and these silly little vowels make. So when we write it, we're going to say just like we spell it, or just like we say it, just like it sounds, but with the I replacing that Y. We have a consonant Y, and that means we need the Y to go and an I to take its place. So can, d, E, s. We still need to make it plural with that ES. So drop your Y, add an I, ES. Puppies, puppies. We still want to hear that sound at the end. So we want pup, Drop your Y and add an IES. So consonant Y makes for dropping your Y and an IES. That way we can keep our sound correct. Now let's try stories. You hear the sound in there? Story, E-E-E. We need to keep that sound there. So we're going to spell story with an IES. Stories makes the same sound to make us plural. This is going to take a little bit of practice, but you'll get it. Look for, if you have a Y, if it has a consonant in front of it, drop your Y, add an IES. Now let's look at the next rule. The next rule is if your noun ends in a, if a noun ends in F or FE, you need to drop the F or FE and add a VES. So only when you're doing plural nouns and it ends in an F or an FE, you're going to get rid of them and you're going to replace them with a VES. And what's funny is you're actually going to hear the sound change from a F to a V sound. So listen closely when we do it here. Remember, we want to spell it the way it sounds. So if we're looking at more than one knife, we would say knives. You hear the sound change? Knife to knives. So we're going to spell K-N-I. That stays the same. And then we want to replace that F-E with a V-E-S. And we have knives with a V. What about if we have elf? Well, it ends in an F. It's a noun, and we want to make it more than one elf. So we're going to take elf and make it to elves. Hear the sound? L-V-E-S. Same thing with loaf. It ends in an F. It's a noun, and we want to make it more than one loaf. So loaf will turn to loaves. We've got the V sound, so L-O-A-V-E-S. We need our sounds there. All F's, all FE's need to be changed. So, is every word that ends in S a plural noun? What do you think? I hope you said no, because not every word that ends in an S is a plural noun. Remember, plural nouns need to be more than one people, more than one place, and more than one thing. All right. Have a great week.